Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
5, 4, 6. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've even put out a video during the actual week. Been an even longer minute since I put out a film session. I've recorded a couple. They haven't gone up for some reason. Maybe I'll put some up as like archives at the end of the year. But I wanted I had to show up. I had to show up for Jalin Hyatt's first 100-yard game as a Giant. I had to show up, man. Like I can't leave him hanging right here. And let's jump straight to it. This is vintage Dable. This is what we wanted to see from Dable and Kafka and Jalin Hyatt all season. This is what we wanted to see from week one. So this right here is what Dable loves to run. He loves to run this over. And excuse my arrow, it's not the perfect line, but he's running an over and he's running a post. And just watch how beautifully this works. So vintage play action. The play action is involved in almost every deep shot we take, but play action is there. Pass protection is perfect. No one is near Tommy DeVito. I wish he would have gotten the ball out right here and gotten it to Hyatt right here, but it's a little bit late. But let's run it back. You want to play off coverage here. Hyatt is going to run through your zone, all the way through your zone, and no one's around. Those linebackers are not going to keep up with him. And he's just going to make a spectacular sideline catch on a late and high football. Mind you, this football is late and it's high. So not only is Jalin Hyatt probably frustrated, like, oh man, I didn't get the ball, he's also like, the ball is too high now, so I got to go up and get this ball too. Made this a contested catch without being a contested catch, but he goes up and high points this football and is able to get both feet down on the sideline, drags that second foot, and then drags the third foot. So beautiful catch, beautiful throw, or I'll say beautiful catch. And Jalin Hyatt just makes this look like a routine play. A lot of guys might drop this. A lot of guys might let this go out of bounds. But the ball is late. He's got it. I would show what he did at the line of scrimmage, but he got a free release. Just got to run through that defense and just get his first big play of the day that pretty much set the tone for the rest of his game. So on this next play, I've talked at the beginning of the season about how Jalin Hyatt struggled at the line of scrimmage. Now, he still does not really face many press releases as far as him getting, putting hands on him at the line of scrimmage. But, I mean, that's fine. Who cares? If no one's going to press him, they're not going to press him. So watch how Jalin Hyatt is going to be at the bottom of your screen. He's going all the way at the bottom of your screen. And watch how he attacks the chest of, I think this is J.C. Jackson. He's going to attack the chest of him right here. I'm running full speed right at you. Gets him to backpedal a little bit off balance, and then he just turns on the Jets. Mind you, Tommy DeVito sees when he turns on the Jets, and he's like, I'm throwing it. Like, he's going to get to that spot that I want him to get to. But this ball's underthrown. So instead of Hyatt having a chance to maybe just catch this and run in, or maybe go up and get the football, it's just a little bit underthrown. But if you see, like, if his hand doesn't get out, this ball is getting caught, which just shows how incredible the ball skills are for Jalin Hyatt. But something that I noticed, again, we're going to run through this again, is starts off with that sort of like kick release, gets square, attacks the chest, and then takes it to the side, accelerates upfield, and makes this almost a big play, but just a good play here from the DB. All right, so this next play, we got Jalin Hyatt. He is going to be running a corner, or almost like a deep outside post, but it's a post corner. Either way, whatever you want to call it, it's a corner route. And Hyatt is going to get another free release. As I said, like, if they're not going to press him, I mean, what does it matter? If they're not pressing him in the NFL, just let him continue to make big plays. So Hyatt is going to get this free release here. And I'm sure some people are going to say, he's open because he threw it underneath. And that's what, listen, pay attention to what you see on the screen. Jalin Hyatt is at the 50. This DB is looking at Jalin Hyatt. This DB leaning forward is not going to be able to stay with Jalin Hyatt. Number 31 is not going to be able to stay with Jalin Hyatt on this corner. It's just not going to happen. Him leaning forward at that point is just not going to cut it. So this is open for Hyatt. If it gets thrown to a spot, this is open. Now he's hanging off your screen right now almost, but as you see Jalin Hyatt at the 40-yard line, if this ball is placed in front of Hyatt and to the sideline, it's open. So in this next play, Jalin Hyatt is going against the cover 2. He's at the bottom of your screen, and this corner is going to pretty much run a press bail type of coverage here. He's playing cover 2, so this is not man coverage. He's playing cover 2. So he's going to let him run behind him, but he's going to try to pass him off into the next zone. And this is the whole shot that you hear all of these Giants content creators, all of these Giants writers, and everybody talk about where Daniel Jones wouldn't throw the ball. This is the whole shot. So I would like to see, for Hyatt at the bottom of your screen, I would like to see a better release. This starts off as a split release, but he just kind of rushes it a bit. But at the same time, it's sort of a timing route because he gets to his spot quick enough to where it doesn't really matter about his release. But could have taken his time a little bit more, and I think he would have created some more space. But nonetheless, also good awareness to know that, hey, let me get to this spot. It doesn't really matter because I'm talking about in an ideal world if you're playing against great coverage. This corner didn't do a good job. He's pressing with his outside shoulder. He's basically letting Hyatt run right past him. So I want to give a shout out to a sponsor on the channel, Underdog Fantasy, and it's kept me really invested in Week 1's games this year. And I've been having a lot of fun, to be honest with you all. You scroll through it. I've been using Pick'em. You scroll through it, you find out, is this player going to be higher or lower than this amount of passing yards or this amount of rushing yards? And you can bundle these players up all the way up to 5 different players. And the more players you put in, the more you can possibly win. You can also use insurance there that's going to make sure that if you get 4 out of that 5, you still get paid. So whether you put in 5, whether you put in 10, whether you put in 20, all the way up to 100, they will match that 100% all the way up to $100 if you use code Diggy. You will not regret it. I've been having a lot of fun. Do it today. So Tommy DeVito recognizes that this corner is not worried about Jalin Hyatt, and he's just kind of tapping him as he's going by, and he throws that whole shot. Throws it right there. Hyatt's got 2 or 3 steps here. Well-placed ball to the outside. Maybe if he places it over the other shoulder, Hyatt can catch it and run with it. But nonetheless, well-placed ball in between the safety and the corner. And Hyatt gets both feet down like a pro, as he always does. And again, watch the hands. Hands catcher Hyatt. I would really like to say something about Jalin Hyatt that I say all the time, but I want people to realize. This guy, Jalin Hyatt, is a hands catcher. He's a natural catcher of the football. He has elite ball tracking ability while the ball is in the air. He's always placing his hands in the right place. He's always in the right spot. He always knows exactly how to contort his body. And he is elite at this stuff already as a rookie. And look at that fly paper. Watch the football just stop right there. And I play it in real life, in real time. Watch it just stop like glue. And well-placed ball, great catch, gets all his feet in bounds, first down. So this next play, you got Jalin Hyatt at the top of the screen. He is number 13 as always. He's right beside that NFL logo. And I just want to see better from him than he did on this play. I'll never question his effort, but just look at this route from him and just, he can do much better than this. So 13 at the top of your screen. Watch him come off the line. It's just kind of a lackadaisical, just stop and go. It is 100% selling that I am running a double move because I'm stopping with the idea in my head that I'm going to continue to run. This is just the lowest energy stop. If you're going to stop, I need you to take a look over your shoulder. I need you to put your foot in the ground like you're running this route. You're running a curl route. You're running a hitch. So I want to see you get out of this stance, get out of your stance. And I want you to sink your hips down low and stop as if you're turning around and looking for that ball. And then accelerate the way you do. And I promise that's a touchdown. I promise it's a touchdown right here. Because this corner is not worried about this hitch route because he just kind of just stops all slow and, you know, lackadaisical. So, like I said, if he can sell that a little bit better, this may be a touchdown for him. Now, even still, he's continuing to fight, and this is why I wouldn't question his effort. He's still continuing to fight for the football, and to be honest, he's open. He's wide open right here, and he may be able to make a guy miss. All right, so another thing that is music to my ears is Jalin Hyatt on a drag route. Jalin Hyatt on a drag, it's just music to my ears. I used to love to see Evan Ingram on drag routes. I love to see any sort of speed player where they have that speed matchup on a drag, and I just think it's so underrated that guys have that speed advantage. Have them running across the field as quick as possible on that drag, and just have someone chase them. So it's really simple. I mean, a lot of times they only run these guys deep, but let them make some noise in the short area. And this is something that people sort of question Jalin Hyatt about. Is like, we know he's probably going to be the fastest guy on the field 99% of the time he's out there. But is he going to be a guy that can make someone miss? And the answer is yes. He's got that space. Watch. Stick that foot in the ground. Bam. Make that guy miss. And that's not something that we see on a regular basis. Now, not to say he's Kadarius Toney, who just an elusive guy. I'm not going to say how good of a player Kadarius Toney is, but he's one of the more elusive people that I've ever seen play football. So you got all these guys that make guys miss. He's not that, but he's showing that he can stick his foot in the ground and he can make someone miss for a first down. And this is what I'm saying. We have not gotten this guy the ball on the move yet. This is the first time he's gotten the ball on the move all year long, and he makes a guy miss. So this is obviously the big play of the game. This is, first off, really good pocket manipulation by Tommy DeVito. Really, really good pocket manipulation by him. Hyatt is at the bottom of your screen, running another go route. He's running this go route, mind you, against off coverage. And watch 29. He's even deeper than the other corner is on the other side of the field. So Hyatt is at maybe the 27, 28 maybe. He's about 10 yards back, 10, 11 yards back. So watch Hyatt come off the line of scrimmage here. No nonsense, just getting upfield, running this corner, and then taking it vertical. And him taking this vertical right here breaks this defense, turns this corner back around, and just watch Tommy DeVito in the pocket. This is not a Tommy DeVito video. And maybe I need to make a Tommy DeVito video, but just watch him in the pocket, manipulating this pocket. The pressure comes through. He steps up and delivers a rocket, a strike. And now take your eyes back to number 13, who does not have a ton of separation, but he's got 1 or 2 steps. So the ball has to be placed in the right direction, but he also has to get that ball and watch him. Snatch it out of the air like fly paper, as I've said. Just snatch it out of the air over his shoulder as he's got a man's hand in between him and the football. Calm hands, snatches it right there, gets his feet down on the sideline. This is just perfect wide receiver play. And again, Jalin Hyatt may not be the most nuanced route runner. He may not even be the shiftiest route runner, but the subtleties of the position for me are controlling your speed and knowing when to accelerate, when to go full speed and when not to, and tracking the football in the air. And Jalin Hyatt does this better than a lot of receivers in the league, tracking that football in the air, knowing when to accelerate right there, hitting the gas, and then snatching that out of the sky. And then also getting the feet down. All right, so a little rusty, still getting back into breaking down some tape. I think at this point, it's all for the best for us to start breaking down college tape. So expect to see that sooner rather than later. Hate to say it, but expect to see that sooner rather than later. But Jalin Hyatt, 109 yards, 5 catches on 6 targets. And again, that 6th target, I think if that ball is thrown out further, I think that may be a touchdown or may at least be a catch, because as you've seen, the ball skills are they're out of this world. They're out of this world, pause. But I think Jalin Hyatt, this is just the beginning. If he can consistently get good quarterback play, he's going to be open deep all game long. There's going to be 3 or 4 opportunities for you to challenge the defense deep. As they start to use him underneath, he's going to be able to make plays there. And I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for that slant. I'm waiting for that drag that turns into a touchdown. And I'm definitely waiting for that touchdown that's just on a go route where he just outruns everyone, which he's kind of done already. But the quarterback has to deliver the football so he can catch it in stride and run into the end zone. So those are my thoughts on Jalin Hyatt. A look at a couple of plays that he made, a look at a couple of plays he could have done a little bit better at. But overall, 5 catches, 109 yards. That's what I expected coming into this season. How they used him is how I expected them to use him coming into this season. So appreciate y'all for sticking in the video for this long. You guys let me know what you're thinking of Jalin Hyatt's breakout game. If you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.